Earlier this week, I took a lot of questions from you all via Instagram. If you're not following us over there, make sure you follow us over at Instagram.com/litlords, LITLORDS. I posted a picture on our story, and I said, Q&A for YouTube, go. And it was like, ask me anything. So I've got a bunch of questions right here. Let's hop into it. So first question is from Havoc Official. It says, when did you start producing music and what inspires you to go to the studio every day and make music? Well, I started making music, over 10 years ago. Yeah, over 10 years ago. It started when I had a guitar. I just bought my first guitar, and I was like I got to the point when I was, I got to a point after having played the guitar for some months or years or whatever it had been at that time, and I said, I want to know how to make my own guitar songs. How do I do that? And I went to Guitar Center and I bought this interface, and it was like Pod Studio or something like that, and it came with Ableton Live Lite, and it started from there. Next up from Astro World, we've got How's the Cat? Well, I guess he's all right. How are you, Onyx? He says he's doing good. Next up, we've got from ERLEQA1K. He says, try to say, to be honest with you, I don't even know where to begin. All I know is Makba, and I probably said that wrong. And he says, you will come to Moscow? I will come to Moscow the first chance I get. IC_Toast. IC Toast says, just need to know if the drop that plays at 8 minutes 40 seconds on mixtape number 1 will ever release. Let's go to 8 minutes 40 seconds, mixtape 1. No comment. Warlord Music says, when's the next remix contest? So, some backstory on the remix contest we did. It started off on Discord. It started off as a server-wide, Litlords Discord server-wide contest amongst the creators and producers there, and then it became this whole thing where it was like people outside of the server got into it, and the word started getting around, and we did this remix contest, and we did a live stream on YouTube, and I listened to a bunch of remixes, and then I listened to the majority of remixes, over the weekend, and came up with the 3 contestant winners, and now we've got the 3 contestant winners, and long story short, I'm gonna announce the next remix contest. We're gonna do lots of contests, not just remix. What? That's disgusting, dude. Not just remix contests, though. We're gonna do all sorts of stuff, But the next one I can tell you is gonna be when we hit over 1,000 members in the Discord server. We're really close right now. We might have broke it by the time this video even gets up. But yeah, that's what's going on there. I'm super excited to be able to present contests and opportunities like that to the global community. IG Night Dubs. Oh, I guess that would be Ignite Dubs, says, best studio monitors suggestion. Well, me personally, I've had the same studio monitors ever since I started. Wade got them, and he gave them to me. He gifted them to me. They are the Event 2020 Bass version 3s. These are absolutely amazing, legendary studio monitors that have a great track record in the music industry, especially in hip-hop. But these days now, I would probably go with anything from Atom. The value for the money, I'd definitely go with anything from Atom. Atom Audio. Avolia says, what if I started losing interest on music? What can I do? Well, first thing is you got to find some better music to listen to. Sometimes it's good to just put it away. Sometimes, I'll go through phases, and I'll be producing new songs for weeks, and then I'll go through months of just not touching my computer, not even opening Ableton, because I gotta let that energy, recharge. I gotta recharge that energy from the universe, and then I get back to it. So sometimes it's good just put it away for a while and then come back, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at how inspired you actually are. Next up from Jay the Don Scott. He says, how did you get into the EDM trap family? Cheers. Well, cheers back to you, Scott. I got into EDM very funny. I'll tell you here, the first EDM song I ever heard, it was a dubstep song from Cookie Monster called Optimus Prime. And my friend Shaylin, I'll never forget this. We were sitting in my room, and he's like, man, you got to get into this dubstep thing, man. I don't know what this is, but I heard this the other day, and it was tight. And then he showed me this song from Cookie Monster called Optimus Prime. And I said, what the hell is this? This is a bunch of bullshit. I did not like it at all. It was the worst thing I'd ever heard in my entire life. And at the time, I was huge, like heavy metal, rock and roll, you know, fucking Winds of Plague, Lamb of God, Suicide, Silence. I never went through an emo phase. I just liked the music because I really liked the instrumentation going on, and I listened to stuff like that. So I was really keen on stuff like that, and that's, that's another story. But yeah, but then he kept playing the songs. Every time I'd get in the car and go somewhere with the guy, he'd be playing this dubstep shit. And I'm like, what the man, stop playing this dubstep shit. I don't want to hear this crap, you know what I'm saying? I kind of just went down the rabbit hole. Over time, I went and I fell down the rabbit hole of dance music. But I mean, I always liked dance music during that time period. But I will say I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it when I heard Dave's remix. I keep calling him Dave. Say My Name. When I heard Say My Name's remix of Trap Arms, when I heard that, me and Wade both jumped out of our seats and ran and said, you know what? Wade said, this was right before we started Lit Lords. And he was like, yo, if you can do that, then I'm in. And I said, you know what? All right, let me go figure out how to do this shit. And I figured it out, and here we are today. Gabriel Boyle says, why is your forehead so big? Well, as you can see, I wear these things so it makes it look better. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what they say about people with big foreheads? Valak Music says, how do you come up with the screeches? Well, I come up with the screeches based on how the song is playing. As some of you might know from watching previous videos, I always say, the screeches are usually the last thing I implement into a song because the song needs to need screeches. I'm not going to put it in there if, I want to add screeches. It doesn't have to want. It has to need the screeches, I want them to play off of each other. I like the screeches to really be infused with the DNA of the song. And so I'm really taking a look at the sound design and all the other elements to see how I can fit the screech into there. It's like a little puzzle, If it fits, it fits. If the shoe fits, where. But the screech, when it does fit, oh my gosh. You guys know. A guy IG says, any people you want to collaborate with. Well, I'm not a big people person, and it's like a fatal flaw of mine. I do have people that intrigue me in the industry. What I can say is, I love to work with these staple acts, these statement acts. I would love to work with Noisia. I would love to work with Headhunters. I would love to work with Flume. But I'd love to work with Bauer. I would absolutely love to work with Bauer, do something with Bauer, because these are people who are extremely creative and people who understand what they're doing. A lot of people, they just make music, they don't know what the hell they're doing. And I'm not saying you have to know what the hell you're doing, because I don't know what I'm doing per se, but I'm creative in a way that breeds understanding, and from that understanding breeds a curiosity. People that are curious about sound, not just I'm going to make this and it's going to be the banger of the year, yada, yada. Like, no, I want people who are going to push boundaries forward, who are trying to discover something, trying to tell stories. I want to work with people like that. And the people I just mentioned beforehand are people who have inspired me and motivated me in different ways to that end. Hybrid Back says, what's your own favorite track and when are you going to release Lights Out? Lights Out. Let them have it. Man, we got bangers on deck. There's so many good songs that I'm just waiting to drop, and I just don't know how I want to do it yet. But I mean, my own favorite track, I don't know. There's so many. Like it'll go based on my mood. Like, so some days I'm feeling like a Trailer Boy. Some days I'm feeling like a Demon. Some days I'm feeling like a True Power. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm glad that I don't just make one kind of thing, but I can go and make all these different types of songs and records, but they all have that Lit Lords DNA. So it's like, if you hear it and didn't know what you'd say, what, I think that's Lit Lords, That's the cool thing that about my music that I really appreciate and respect. But as far as my own favorite track, right now, I'd have to go right now. My own favorite track I'd say is probably Pleasure, because it's just so different. And when that bass line part of the drop comes in, where it's like dun 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 ba ba dun 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 dun. Oh my gosh! Like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Like, oh, and it sounds so good. It's sonically there. For me, it's sonically there, and I just the emotion that it evokes in me, and it's just, man, just play that song on a Friday night, driving home, going to the store. It's got to be nighttime. Just feel the energy, and just feel the energy that it evokes. Another thing I'd have to say in my top two, I guess, would be SOS. The middle part where the verse, where I'm rapping, doing the verse, and then the beat comes in, because I'm saying, the staple line of the track is pick up the phone. And then I had the vocal chop where it said, and call me, yeah. Like, oh, like when I was making that, I probably listened to that part like over 1,000 times, because I was like, yo, this is so smooth. I feel like I'm in the future riding my shit through cyberpunk city. And call me, yeah. Official or Trap Office, I don't know what it is, but it says, how did you start to grow an audience when you first started putting out music? Well, I can tell you this. Growing an audience was the last thing on my mind when I started putting out music. I was just putting out music because it was something that I liked to do, and it kept happening. I said, I like this. I'm going to put this out. I like this. Oh, I was having fun creating. I was having fun discovering who I was, what I was about, what I wanted to do. I had no idea how to grow an audience. Who knows? To this day, I don't know. People just like the music, I guess, and shit happens. But, how'd you grow an audience when you first, like, the audience, like, these things, there are certain things that they just come to you, They just come to you, as you're putting in this effort, putting in this work, and doing different things. Things happen. It's hard to explain. I don't really know how to explain it. All I can tell you is, for me, this is my passion. This is my absolute passion. And when you work hard enough and long enough at a passion, things happen. And it's up to you to capitalize on those things that happen. And hopefully I've been capitalizing. Robbie Kitt says, are you signing with Heavyweight Records? Oh, that's a good question. I don't believe I'm signing with Heavyweight Records in a traditional sense, as in some sort of 360 deal or some sort of thing where I have to release a certain amount of songs with them. No, I'm not doing anything like that. Everybody over at Heavyweight Records, we have great absolute respect for each other, and I'd like to say we're good acquaintances. Everybody over there, from Carnage to the label team and everything like that. So we have a good relationship, great working relationship, and I love to be involved with the label, because they see a lot of potential in me, and I see a lot of potential in them with the things they can do, and the things that we can bring to the community and into the world. So that's definitely a relationship that's going to be lasting off into the far distant future. When Lightning Strikes 25, he says, he or she, I don't know if he's a he or she, I don't know if anybody's a he or she, all I'm seeing is like profile pictures, but it says, what is your motivation for new music? My number one motivation for new music is to outdo myself, because when I was growing up, my dad used to tell me all the time, you're only as good as your last performance. What does that mean? You're only as good as what you did last time. The Duffman 121 says, any more Milano the Don collabs coming out this year? Yes, absolutely. Aldrin Joseph 123 says, collab with Carnage. I'd love to collab with Carnage, because if you take a look at the history of Lit Lords, as far as our remixes go, we've remixed a lot of Carnage songs. Why is that? Because Carnage, he is able to produce these records that evoke a very, very particular feeling, especially in his intros and his build-ups. And I really have been able to connect with that, as far as the Chupacabra, big time on Holy Moly, and then even some of his new records, which I'm not going to talk about. I would love to collab with Carnage, I think we could make something that is truly special and amazing, but I don't want to just sit down and make a song and that's it, and then we go our separate ways. That's whack, I want to make a statement. I want to say something. I want to tell a story. So, I don't want to do things just to do things. That's not how I operate, So I'm navigating the field for a moment, a special moment that speaks to the both of us, and hopefully we can come out and make something great sometime in the future. You're rich, EG1, Yark. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce things. But he's asking me, when's the new start to finish? I don't know. Like, I'm off and on about it because, as I said, I go through those waves of times when I feel like producing and sometimes when I don't, when I got to let myself recharge. So navigating through that whole cycle while having to put out a consistent release of start to finish, it's a very difficult thing to navigate. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Just bear with me. Georgie. Hope I'm saying that right. Georgie, you asked me, will you give an opportunity for your subscribers to collab with you? Absolutely. I was just talking to one of my staff members on the Discord server today about something and for the contest, for like a feature contest. And, he said, what if you had this song like that you were, you gave stems to this song or did whatever with the song that you have already been working on, and it was the contestant's job to come in and kind of do a drop on there or add something to the song, and then you would pick one of the contestants and that they would be added to the track as a feature, and I was like, that's amazing. That's awesome. And then when the particular situation was, everybody wants the song, squeeze on the trigger, bitch, that's with Nasty. But Nasty's being a bitch. So, and I'm not afraid to say that because he is being a bitch. So he was like, what if you just take the part of all the sounds that you've got and all the stuff that you are responsible for on the track, and then you rework it and then send it out to the fans, and then, certain creators hop on it, and then if something comes back dope in the contest, it becomes a whole new track. I was like, that's sick. And then that also makes it as a way to make the song that everybody wants become available to you. I mean, I could go back and rework the song and put it out solo. I could do that, but why not give an opportunity to the global community? And I said, you know what? You spoke to me on that one. I'm gonna think about it. And last question from AKB 070203. He says, how are you? I'm doing great. My life has been through a lot of big changes in the last couple of months, and I'm definitely learning a lot and going through a lot of different experiences. And it's a lot to juggle. Life is not easy. I will tell you that much. But you got to keep your head held high, and keep it moving and do what you do. And have a smile on your face, and more importantly, a smile in your heart. And spread positivity throughout the universe. That's what I'm all about. So I'm doing great. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. If you stay tuned. I might ask to poll here for questions, and I'll definitely be polling on Instagram for questions in the future for another Q&A. If you guys want to see, what's in my bag or what's in the, what I work with when I'm creating music, just drop a comment below. But say hi. If you're not in the Discord server, join the Discord server. If, the best way to support, me and the project and the channel, is, Patreon, patreon.com/litlords. If you're not a part of that and it's something you want to do to show support, make sure you head over there and check out our tiers. And if not, on our live streams, the best way to support is through the super chat. So if there's anything you want to say in the chat while we're live, or just send a donation, just use the super chat and the proceeds go directly to the project. And it's going to help keep amazing music and content coming to your eyes and ears. So with that, I've been me, you've been you. That's it. Boom.